Hey guys, Dave Witcher, President FFL Velocity. Welcome to Weekend Warrior Podcast. I was just talking to Arnaldo. I just landed in from Atlanta, doing some work down there, and then here in Charlotte, we're doing a meeting here today, and just on the grind, working, helping, serving families, doing everything we can to help. So, hope this helps on my day. Take the time to listen, pick up some key ideas, things like that. That's why we do what we do to help everyone. So today, I've got a new senior sales manager, new logo coming, and he's also doing great personal sales, growing his team, and I want to welcome Mr. Arnaldo Alvarez.
Thanks so much for having me, Dave. Appreciate being here.
Give you a little bit more.
Get the standing O.
Yeah. So, Arnaldo, just really quick, just tell us a brief story about, kind of how you came about, a little bit about your background, where your family is, just a little bit about Arnaldo so people kind of know who you are.
Yeah, thanks. So I started with Family First Life back in October of 2020. Previous to this organization, I never sold any kind of insurance or helped any families or anything like that. I actually used to own a gym, kind of a CrossFit type gym. And then COVID happened and had to shift gears dramatically. We had to unfortunately shut the doors down, and it was a tough place for me to be in to try to start a new career and kind of get going. So I literally Googled fast ways to earn money legally, and life insurance kept popping up, and so it was just a way for me to be able to provide for my family, pay for my bills, but ended up being so much more for me than just being another career choice. It really provided me with the ability to protect families, serve the community, give back, and at the same time still being able to put food on my table and pay my mortgage.
I love what you said there. As far as you said, give back, right? Where did that come from? You say give back and things like that. You mentioned your family. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, in the gym world, for me, I always found inspiration through others, being able to help others achieve things that they never thought were possible for themselves. So in my world, I was always willing to give back to the community and help others with what their goals were, and this is just another way for me to do that. It's important for me to remember, especially, on tough days, which we all have them, what we're doing this for. It's not about a paycheck. It's about being able to give peace of mind to families that don't really have that. It's a way to help end generational poverty. It's a way to make sure that on the worst day of someone's life, they don't have to worry about how am I going to pay for this all. They can just mourn somebody's loss and do it the right way.
Well, you definitely get it. And if you take that same passion of helping others and you continue to apply that and you never make it about yourself, I try to, I hate the word try, but give my best every day to do that and not make it about me. And it's easier when you're in the home to do that about the client. It just is. And it's easier to help agents when you focus on them and their needs and what they're trying to accomplish. Maybe not everybody's ready to run that speed that you are. I found that not a lot are, and that's okay. But I'm going to run with the ones that are ready and still love on the ones. I mean, Arnaldo, you came here and I remember you got off to, not a bad start. You just got off to a slower start, like than where you are now. I mean, you're double, quadruple, triple your production probably since you started. And you just got better and better. I think you're, getting up earlier and, changed some things in your life that have allowed you to even become better. So you're protecting about 30 plus families a month, I'd say. Does that sound about right?
Yes, I've shifted to telesales now, and so that's allowed me to talk with more families. I would say on average, I'm protecting about 5 to 6 families a week, trying to, of course, get out there more and increase my production and activity. I mean, and really that's what I try to focus on. It's not necessarily how many sales that I make or how many families did I close or anything like that. I really want to say that I focus on dialing. The more people I dial, the more opportunities I have to serve others to achieve those goals. And that's something that I think any new agent should really focus on. We talk about it all the time, mindset. I think that a lot of new agents get caught up on this idea of, where they want to be with the results. And if you start focusing on results, it shows in your conversations with families. You can't do your job effectively if you're continuously focused on yourself and your bank account. You need to really make sure that, the purpose of your visit with any family is to make sure that, A, you get them the right product and make sure that they can afford payments successfully and make sure that they understand the value in what we're offering them. When times get tough, as we just saw with a pandemic and people making tough choices and cutting back on bills, you never want them to make the life insurance policy the first thing that they cut. You want them to understand that this is something that they need. They can get rid of their Netflix bill or their Spotify account, in order to make sure that they put their family in a better position overall. And I think a lot of people, when they focus on those things and make sure that the family understands exactly what it is that we're doing for them, not only are they grateful and appreciative, but it's something that they hold in high value for themselves when you're not around. And it's something that they think about when you're not there to remind them exactly, what we're doing for them.
Yeah, I love that. And but you're caring hard and helping them, and that's what matters. And so I love that. So, what are some things that you've done that you would, if you had to start all over again, that you would have done different now that you're doing that are allowing you to have more success now? Whether it's more time, buying more leads, whether it's dialing the phone more, whatever that case may be. And I know you're doing this, but you may get back into a hybrid situation, which is probably where you'll go, just because you were 30, maybe a few more families a month, and you're still trying to figure out the hybrid. But what are some things you would do and tell a new agent from the very beginning, as far as trusting the system, those type of things?
Yeah, I would do so many things differently. Like you said, I got off to a really slow start, and I think a lot of that might have been my ego thinking that I knew a better way to do things, when in reality I needed to follow the systems that were already in place. One thing for sure, without hesitation, I would say every new agent needs to be on a live dial session all the time. That I know that dramatically my production increased as soon as I was able to be on a Zoom call with other people doing the same thing, listening to veteran agents handle objections over the phone, making sure that you hold yourself accountable. Now that I'm more of a leader and building an agency myself and handling new agents, one thing I tell everybody is the best part about this job is that you're your own boss, and the worst part about this job is that you're your own boss. No one's going to fire you for not jumping on a dial day at exactly 8 a.m. or 7:30 a.m. for most of the agents on our team. No one's going to yell at you if you don't go to an appointment because you're tired and it's late and you've had 3 no-shows in a row and you're just having a bad day. No one's going to get on top of you for those things, but you need to hold yourself accountable. So the dial days are a great way for you to make sure that you're doing your job effectively and not wasting it. One thing that I first started doing when I was dialing, I'd never worked from home before. I was always in an office or in the gym, so to speak, and I had other people that counted on me. And so when I started first dialing from home, got to do some laundry real quick. Let me just throw a quick load in there. Oh, my dog needs to go out on a walk. And, you start forcing yourself to find reasons to not be on the phone. And that hurts your activity, that from day one. So I had a lot of great leadership, Rich Young, Billy Abstance. They really pushed me to get to that level where I was holding myself accountable with others. And so that would be the first thing that I would change right away. The second thing would be to learn how to get into a better mindset. One thing that for me was always so important in my life was, being healthy, working out, being active. We're not as active, on the phones or in a car while you're driving to appointments. So, really getting back into that mindset. I mean, and Dave, you're such an inspiration for this. The 4 a.m. club, working out every morning, making sure that you start the day right, so that you can, be successful in the field and, really focus on what's important while you're sitting with a family. So that would be the next thing is that, focus on your own mental health, whatever that might be for you. Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's working out, but, really not forgetting to take care of yourself while you're helping other families in the process. And then the last thing would be to just be humble, just ask questions. For me, I was always so concerned with, well, what are the products I'm selling? I need to get product knowledge. I need to make sure that I know everything that there is to know before I actually sit with a family. And, at the end of the day, that's just not the case. Sean Mike says it the best. I think, when he says you want to know about the product, it's when somebody dies, their family gets a check. And if you can just realize that, we have cheat sheets for different medical conditions to make sure that people get the right insurance that they qualify for, and you're not wasting your time, you're not wasting their time. There's resources out there where you can literally from day one dial, set appointments, go into the field, and be confident knowing that you have a strong support system to help you be successful when you're out on the field.
Yeah, well, I love that. And It is great to see people succeed and change things, and obviously plugging into the team and building those guys and having them help you enrich and whoever, right? I mean, I think listen to podcasts, you learn whatever, being trained like you are here, being duplicatable and things like that. What are some other advices you might give someone watching in regards to, there's going to be chargebacks, there's going to be things like that up front that you would prepare for better. Like I talk about all the time, run it like a business. But what are some things from that perspective that you would talk about?
Yeah, I think, we had a great phone call over the weekend with, Easton on the phone call. And one of the things that he really harped on, which I think is so true for new agents, you have to get comfortable with being rejected. You have to be okay with the fact that you're going to hear a lot of no's and you're going to get a lot of doors shut on you, or metaphorically, or phones hung up on you before you are able to protect a family and do your job effectively. And I think that if you shift gears from focusing on the results to focusing on the activity, it'll allow you to get into that right headspace to be able to keep pushing forward and keep progressing. That's one of the biggest pitfalls that I think that most new agents fall into. But as you mentioned, you got to get connected. Sean Mike does a great podcast every Saturday. There are our team calls each week, and each agent has individual calls from their own team's perspective. I think that one of the things that struck me the most when I joined Family First Life was that there are so many people willing to help you without expecting anything in return. You've been on our team calls with Rhinos, and we've had Grady Polson and everybody just so willing to be generous with their time so that we can be successful moving forward. And I think that really speaks to the culture of Family First Life that a lot of people don't really touch base on. Everyone is so focused on protecting other families that we don't realize that in our own family here at Family First, we have everything that we need to be successful. And that's the reason that I was so drawn to this organization in the first place.
Cool. What are some of your goals like from now? You've got your logo. That's super exciting. Teams growing, that kind of thing. What are some things that you're excited about in the future, goals and things that you've kind of thought of that moving forward?
Yeah, so, one thing that I always want to do, I focus on, increasing my activity, making sure that I'm able to sit in front of more families so that while my production increases, I'm able to, provide more protection out there. Another thing is building a bigger agency. I really want to make sure that my team grows and I'm providing that level of support throughout every step of the process. So, right now I'm trying to be very active with my group, and as I'm sure you're well aware, it's a fine balancing act trying to make sure that you're producing, for yourself, going out in the field and protecting families while also being able to be a support system for others, so that they get the help they need to be able to increase their activity as well. So, for me, I'd like to hit Hall of Fame. I think for now I'm just behind a little bit on my numbers
You'll get there.
to be able to get there. So if I don't hit Hall of Fame this year, then the next year for sure is a goal of mine. I'd like to get to VP by the end of May, possibly June. We've basically doubled production from February to March, and so we were able to hit senior sales manager for the team, and I'm appreciative and grateful for everyone on my team to help me get there, and so just loving on them to make sure that they understand that without them we couldn't really do this.
That's 100% true. Yeah, we've been blessed having great teammates and things, and again, if you work hard and you stay focused, you plug into the systems. I think try not to overthink things. Again, a lot of families need our help out there. Many millions of people need our help, and when we're looking at it from a recruiting standpoint or bringing partners on, there's millions of over a million people out there that are have life insurance licenses are not here with us. So with us having the things that we have, the ability to get the higher some higher comps with some of the carriers, things of that nature, be able to simplify the issue in the home. I love that part because I want to get take care of my family as well, and just so many other great things, whether it be leads. Different leads are always trying to figure out, hey, how can we get better there? But at the end of the day, lead to lead, different sources. Some are, what do we like to say? They all suck, but all of them are good, whatever.
Right.
But the bottom line is it's just not overthinking it. I mean, I got guys in this office, matter of fact, that ran instant internet leads only, and both have Hall of Fame. and that's Mike and Robbie both. So
Yeah.
you can do it different ways, and things like that. So what have you typically run? I mean, you probably have a mix of them. Would you recommend an agent to get a mix of those? And how many times would you dial? Some basic things like that you would recommend.
Yeah, great question. I mean, for me, I run a mix of only CRM leads. So I really just stick with the CRM. And like you said before, a lead is a lead. I know when I first joined, I used to joke with Rich a lot that no one in North Carolina picks up the phone. I think that's a common fact. In fact, you can look that up. That's a true statement. But over time, I started realizing that you're going to face the things that you fear. And my biggest fear was people aren't going to pick up the phone, people are going to no-show, and that's all I focused on. And then, of course, that's all I saw. So once I started realizing that, that's in my head, I needed to get away from that mentality, I was able to speak with more families and sit down with more folks. So I do a mix of instant, new, and 1 month primarily. Sometimes I'll do 3 month, but really I stick with those. I find a lot of great success with the 1 month leads when it comes to the telesales. I feel that people, when we get the instance, they get a lot of phone calls from a lot of people trying to get their attention, and so as far as telesales are concerned, they're more likely to hang up on you. I found a great success with the 1 months, especially when you talk about budget for a lot of new agents. The $4 1 month lead is a lot more reasonable than the $11 instant lead. You can buy basically three 1 month leads for the same price and just kind of go from there. And of course, as you probably talk about all the time on this podcast, work spots makes it even more doable because there are always discounts available. And I would highly encourage any new agent to jump on a work spots app so that they can make it make it successful for themselves to purchase more leads. So I think that that's a great way to start when you're kind of new and you're on a tight budget. Really making sure that you're going in different areas of the CRM so that you're not just kind of stuck with anything. Billy is a wizard and is famous on our team for those aged final expense mailers. I mean, they're $1.50. They range from 20 years old to a year old or something, and somehow he makes it happen every time. He's able to protect those families, and he just has a way about making a no nonsense conversation so that people can finally get it taken care of.
Yeah. Well, I love this, and this has been great. So as we wrap up in the next couple of minutes here, what are some fine points, if you want to mention anything else maybe we haven't talked about? Work spots, I love that you brought that up. I mean, obviously, $99 get you access to all the offices. You can become, I mean, if you're near an office, you should be in one. I mean, it just helps you, holds accountability, dial teams, and of course we have, FFL dials that we have the Zooms, which you guys get on that, and you dial team and things like that. But I mean, how important is that? And just maybe a couple other closing comments of things that, again, whatever the system might be that you're liking, or you encourage a new agent to get on, and then also let them know how to get hold of you.
Yeah, so the work spots, is probably the best thing that's happened to Family First Life for any agent. I don't know anyone who doesn't have a work spots account and doesn't make use of it. I mean, it's $99 a month. Like you said, you have access to all the offices in your area, but they frequently give out those lead discounts, which makes a big difference. I think I've paid for, probably with all the lead discounts I've had, maybe the next 20 years of WorkSpot monthly subscription with all the money I've saved. So, it's definitely well worth the cost of $99 a month. Another thing that I utilize is phone burner. I think that's helpful for dialing quickly. I don't think you need it right off the bat when you first join FFL. I think that's something that you can grow into, but it has improved my activity in that with my dial trackers when I first started, I was maybe making 200 to maybe 300 dials, trying to manually type in the numbers on my phone every day. And then when I got phone burner, it increased to about 600 dials a dial session. So that's definitely something that as you grow in time, you need some kind of dialer to help it, help you again increase your activity. And I think being humble, asking for help when you need it. But there's tons of podcasts out there. There's YouTube videos that I constantly watch for continued education and allow myself to learn more. Anyone who's ever doing any kind of mortgage leads, Frank Eufima's podcasts are That's basically the only reason I've ever sold any mortgage protection. And so, the information's out there. It's just how much are you willing to look, how hard are you willing to work, and be a go-getter, be self-motivated, and a self-starter. And I think that's really the difference between someone who tries to sell insurance or tries to protect families and fails versus people who are successful. It's just how hard are you willing to work? And I think that, being on your team has been, again, an inspiration for me, because I don't think anyone in this business can say without any hesitation that you're probably the hardest working man next to Sean Mike when it comes to insurance. And so, watching you work as hard as you do forces me to do it, because if you can do it, why can't I do it? Why can't I work as hard as you to get to the levels that you've achieved?
Well, there's no doubt that you will, because you're selfless and want to help other people, and that's what we do. How do they get hold of you, Arnaldo? They want to work with you and Team Sovereignty?
Yes, Family First Life Sovereignty is the new team name here. You can reach out to me via email, which is just my first name, Arnaldo, ARNALDO, FFL@gmail.com, or you can call my cell phone. It's area code 407-687-8523. Just let me know, what I can do to help support you.
Well, thanks for being on with us today, Arnaldo. Thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you. Appreciate the opportunity just to serve every day and do what we have to do. Just continue to work hard, continue to serve families, make it about them. People are going to make mistakes. We got to love on and care them. Turn the car. Make sure we pull up the brake. Make sure they don't crash it. That kind of thing. And then if they do, then we got to put it back together and help them keep moving. So I think we got to make it about the other people, not us. And feelings, whatever, and it's just continue, like he said, continue to grow, give back, set new goals, and you will hit Hall of Fame. Just to put that on there, make it on the calendar, and you'll make it happen. It's just a few more leads, few more calls, and consistency is really all it is. So thanks for being on today. If you haven't already, subscribe, Family First Life Velocity on YouTube. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Dave.